We're at gotomath.com. Let's click on the calculus button and go right here to indefinite integration. And we'll click on 4 right here, get 4-1 to come up. And what the heck is all that? Anyway, it says find f of x given the initial conditions. Okay, initial conditions. So this is the antiderivative. That's what they call that. We got the integral of 3dx, so if you've worked 1-1 or 1-2, I think it was, then you should know what the integral of 3dx is. Now you're probably wondering, what are all these diagonal lines here that are all parallel to each other? Well, I'll explain that here in just a second. Now you see where this little red dot is. It happens to be lying right here on this particular line here. If we count over 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we count up 1, 2, so this dot is located at 4, 2. That would be the ordered pair there. So you notice when we plug 4 in for x, the function we get out, we get a 2 out. All right. So let's just go over to the whiteboard and see if we can't scribble something up on this deal. All right, we'll do that. So we have f of x, the antiderivative. Notice I use a capital F. We got the integral of 3dx, and we had what are called some initial conditions. When we plugged 4 in, we got 2 out. We plugged 4 in, we get 2 out. Is that right? Okay, looks good to me. I was looking back at the graph. Alright, well, let's just find the integral here. So if you've worked a couple of these, you should know what this is. This is going to be 3x plus some constant here. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to solve for c. So basically what we got going on here is if you go ahead and were to graph out, let's see, we'll use green. How's that since our graph is green? So let's say we let c be 0. Okay, so let's say for example c is 0. So what are we graphing out? Well, we're graphing out f of x is equal to 3x. So what does this graph look like? Well, it's just a graph that passes through the origin, has, let's say, a slope of 3. Right? So this would be the graph of this when c is equal to 0. But let's say, for example, c was equal to 1. So we'd have f of x is equal to 3x plus 1. So you see if c were equal to 1, so in other words, it would cross right here. Let's say that's 1. And now I'm going to attempt to draw a parallel line to that first one, because what is it? They both have the same slope, right? They both have the same slope, but their y-intercept is different. This one's 0 and that one's 1. So we would continue to do this, say for example. So let's say c was equal to -1. So you'd end up having f of x, that's capital F, of 3x minus 1, right? So we'd have another line runs through here. Lines aren't too bad there. Alright, so this would be the one that corresponds to this guy right here. Alright, these are for different c values. So as you can see, we'd have a whole bunch of them. But we're wanting one that passes through 4, right? 2. In other words, the ordered pair 4, 2. We're wanting the graph that passes through 4, 2. Well, in order to figure that out, we got to figure out what c needs to be. Okay, so all we do is take 2, set this thing equal to 2, plug, I'm still using green ink, I don't know why, then plug 4 in, and then solve for c. So that's all you got to do, right? Plug 4 in for x, set the whole thing equal to 2, and solve for c. So we end up with 12 plus c is equal to 2. So then we have 2 minus 12 is equal to c, which happens to be equal to -10. So c was -10, right? So you'd end up having one, we'll have to continue the y-axis down, one that's actually passing through, of course this is not far enough down here, but one that would be passing through here at negative 10. Alright, okay, so let's go back. Actually, let me go ahead and rewrite this. So what we're actually looking for here is the f of x. See if I can squeeze this in right here. 3x minus 10. So that's the one you want to graph. Alright, so we'll go back now and look at this. So as you can see, you see this line right here? Okay. This is going to be the actual graph. Of course, we're not going to be able to see everything on the screen because we'd have to go down all the way down to negative 10. But this is the actual one that's actually passing through the y-axis way down here somewhere at negative 10. Alright. Okay, so this has a lot of applications in the real world, let me tell you. Anyway, and we'll get around to those applications eventually. But right now we're just kind of working through the mechanics. So let's hit the answer here. Let's see what we got. All right, so there it is. We got f of x equal to 3x minus 10. So this is the particular one that passes through these conditions. That's what we call this, the initial conditions. All right. Okay, so you want to come on by, hit us up at gotomath.com. You'll want to practice that, all right, and I might talk with you there.